In life, you go through phases. Right now, I'm in the 64 years old, recently retired phase. I've got a whole new chapter of thoughts and ideas that I want to share, a lot of them through the School of Hard Knocks. Today's video is all about 10 habits of personal care you should start now. Not only will you benefit immediately, but your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and on are going to be awesome. I'm going to march down the list. It's all about personal care. A separate video will be on working out, physical activity. There will be another one about eating. But today's is personal care, things to keep your body in shape. First thing we're going to talk about is hats. I was kind of a hat wearer, but then when I got into flight testing, where I was spending a lot of time out on the tarmac, around aircraft, beating sun, no shade, hats became a really big deal. And you would get all sorts of different hats over the years. Here's a hat I particularly like because it has an elastic band. It not only protects your head, especially when you've got thinner hair or shorter hair, you'll minimize skin cancer. Skin cancer runs pretty strong in my family. My father and my grandparents and my relatives are farmers, so they've spent all day outside and they weren't using any kind of skincare products, at least when they were younger. So now they're paying the price. A regular ball cap is good. Here's a cap I got in Australia where the sun really comes down and it's got a little flap in the back, and that's to protect your neck. So that was a bicycle ride and you were kind of bent over. There was a lot of exposure of your neck and your ears. So that's where this hat comes in. This is a full brim hat. I like to call it an Australian hat. Put one side up. Not only covers your head and your neck, but also your ears. You just want to avoid getting burned at all costs. And that will bring in some things downrange where we'll talk about sunscreen. The other thing that I started doing in my 20s when I was a flight tester was wear sunglasses. These are Ray-Bans. These were like the cool guy sunglasses back in the day. Get them polarized if at all possible. Safety glasses. You can also get these polarized. Anytime I'm outside and there's a remote chance that I'm going to have something fly into my face, safety glasses is what you want. These are blue filter glasses, and I wasn't really sold on them at first, but my son got really into it when he started college. He convinced me, if you spend a lot of time up close around screens, they'll really help your eyes and reduce eye strain. Here's my go-to sunglasses right now. I wear these all the time, whether I'm climbing, cycling, anytime I'm outdoor driving. Unlike these that are a tad bit fragile, these have a lot of flex to them. My first pair I had for about 10 years. This one I've had for about 5 and it's still going strong. The next thing I worry about is hair. When you get older, it's kind of a race between either losing your hair or having it all go gray. I know people who color their hair. Well, that's a personal choice. This video is completely unsponsored. I'll post links to all the products that I'm talking about down below in case you're interested. Now, there's a whole bunch of these root activating shampoos. I've been testing this one for about a month. I used to use like regular shampoos. This one can range anywhere from $10, $25 and up for a 5 to 10 ounce bottle. Exploring the option is kind of new, but I think taking care of your hair and hopefully this root activating shampoo will either help me keep what I have or maybe give me a little more. The reviews on these are pretty optimistic. Maybe they're saying things that I'm not, but after a month, I feel like my hair is better and maybe a little thicker. Use it about 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to have to use this a little more before I actually decide whether or not it's worth the money. One thing that I have stopped doing is shaving. I don't shave as much as I did back when I had a full-time job. I'll shave maybe 2 times a week. I don't use a razor anymore in shaving cream. I've given that up. About 20 years ago, I started using an electric razor. If you think about it, you're scraping not only the hair, but the skin off of your face. I just think the electric razor with an aftershave, help out with any kind of redness that you might get, is key to keeping your face in good shape. When you're a young kid, you want to shave because it makes you think that you're older. But boy, I would trade all of this on my face so I wouldn't have to shave anymore, and I'd put it on my head if I could. Another thing that people discount, surprisingly so, teeth care, your mouth. There's a lot of things that have come forward in the last couple of years that have really made a big difference for me. I've always used the standard toothbrush, but now I've gone over to what they call a sonic toothbrush. And this is a game changer. It's amazing how good of a cleaning job the sonic toothbrush does over a regular toothbrush. I was always a big flosser. The dentist told me help my teeth and mouth stay in good shape. But then after several years, I started to back off on flossing. And the reason why, the dentist was telling me that I'm too aggressive on my flossing. And I was actually cutting into my gums and getting a receding gum line. Decided to no longer use these guys and went to a water flosser. Again, a game changer. This takes a little getting used to because it vibrates. And when you first put it in your mouth, you're like, oh, I don't know. But this water flosser is amazing. It just gets all that stuff out between your teeth. There's a whole bunch of different options. Normal, pulse, soft. I've done a video on the water flosser before. I'll post it up there and down below for more details. This and this, it will take your teeth cleaning and health to a whole different level. Just this right here. I have rosacea. Probably got it from stress or being out in the sun too much. Started using this redness relieving night moisturizer. Again, unsponsored, but it works really well. They have a daytime version and a nighttime version. The daytime version has pigment in there. Not so interested in that. So I basically double up on the nighttime version. It's very light and it goes on really well. Another thing that I don't ever remember my father or grandfather or anybody else talking about was moisturizing. I moisturize every day. And I've been using Aveeno for about 10 years. I started doing some more research, went with this cream for my face. It's an anti-aging cream. I've been doing it for about a year. It's got collagen, retinol, and vitamin E in there. It does make your skin feel smooth, but is it anti-aging my skin? Maybe it's just keeping it in check. Doing a little more research, I decided to start doing this Gold Bond Age Renewal Retinol Overnight Lotion, face and body. I'm going to do a test because I'm starting to get what they call crepe skin. My dad used to say, getting old is a drag, but it's better than being dead. Well, he's right. So if you can hold age at bay by putting in a little moisturizing, I do this on my arms and legs when I get out of the shower. Now I've decided to not do this cream anymore, and I'm evaluating this Gold Bond unsponsored. It has retinol overnight, and I'm using it twice a day. Wash my face and then put it on. I'm going to actually do a test. The left side of my body, I'm going to use Aveeno, and I'm going to compare the results with Gold Bond, and we'll see how I'll do. So that'll be an additional video, either up there or down below. I started doing that. Am I noticing a difference? Not so much, but I guess 90-something% of the people who use this product see a difference. So I think it's worth giving it a try. One thing I totally did not do that I wish I would have done is sunscreen every day. Every day. Whether I'm going to work, going to the store, might even be in the house all day. Sunscreen is so important. Sunscreen was never one of those things you did all the time. When I did sailboat racing, I decided to start doing sunscreen. That was in my 20s, but I didn't do it all the time. I just did it when I was outside, around the pool, things like that. You want to get one that's UVA and UVB protection. This is an SPF 50. Back in the day, I wanted the nice bronze tan. Right now, I just don't want skin cancer. I get tanned enough even with using 50 because I spend a lot of time outside my bike and just going around the house and doing stuff, walking and things like that. Broad spectrum sunscreen is essential when you're going outside. And I'll just goop up my arms and my legs and things like that. Every day, my face and my hands, I'm using sunscreen. I used a different one, and then after talking to my dermatologist, she recommended this. It's a UV sheer. It's a 50 plus SPF for face and body sunscreen. But if I'm going out shorts or anything, even if it's out for 15 minutes, because typically what happens is I stay out for a lot longer than 15 minutes. I'm going to goop up with this sunscreen. The only reason why I don't do this on my whole body is because this is kind of pricey. It's in the $20 to $30 range, and you can usually get a really good sunscreen for anywhere from $5 to $15 that gives you a lot more coverage. The other thing I wish I would have done starting in my 20s that I've only started doing maybe in the last 5, maybe 10 years is chapstick. I'll put some on before I go to bed. That helps out, especially in the wintertime when things get really dry. Chapstick is your friend. My wife uses one that has beeswax in it that she really likes, Burt's Bees, I think it is. So I'll post that down there in case you're interested. Is something that I didn't know about until I rode my bike across the United States. Bag balm. This is for helping cows. It also is human safe. When I rode my bike across the United States from California to Boston, Massachusetts, a lot of people were having problems with saddle sores. And so they started using bag balm because they weren't used to being in the saddle for 90 miles, 100 miles a day for 47 days. There are times when my feet are cracking, especially in the summertime or even the wintertime. It almost looks like a Vaseline, but it has a couple more things in there, lanolin based. It is amazing. You put a thin coating on your cracked feet, put some socks on, and a day or two later, it's like you never had those cracks. Absolutely amazing. You can also use this in other parts of your body that are cracking or dry. It comes in all sorts of different sizes. This is a 10-ounce, probably lifetime supply. It comes in tubes. It's a lot more transportable than this big metal container. The last habit that helps reinforce all of this, and I am just as guilty as anybody else, is hydration. Very few, if any of us, drink enough water or some sort of drink. This happens to be a protein shake because it's in the morning after my workout. I looked it up somewhere and I'll post up here if I'm wrong. Remember reading anywhere from 80 to 160 ounces of liquid a day. Now, some of that you'll get in your food. For most of us, we need to boost up on the hydration. It will make a big difference. Just allowing all your systems to be doing what your systems need to do. Hydration is an absolute key. So what do you think? Are you pushing back on any of these habits? Do you have any habits of your own that you would like to add to this list? Please post your comments, thoughts, and ideas down below. Thumbs up, always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in all sorts of longevity or healthcare options, designs of all kinds, making and breaking things, home repairs, I even do costumes, cosplay, and props. Check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what habits, thoughts, and ideas for longevity you're gonna see.